But, Director, someone is yapping to somebody, right?
Yeah, listen, I came from the House where everybody yaps to everybody,
Yeah.
that's sort of the nature of Washington, D.C. All I can tell you is that someone who is there I'm in this building every single day, sometimes more than once a day. I'm in the Oval Office of the President, I'm in the Chief's office with the Chief of Staff, meeting with the other senior staff. Again, I'm sort of in this strange role where I am a cabinet member, but I'm also a member of the senior White House staff. The place is functioning just fine. In fact, we're very proud of the work we did over the past weekend. Could never have accomplished what we did without having everybody functioning as a team.
You know, the markets, of course, are a little soft today, sir, but the fact of the matter is they've been on fire ever since the president's election, certainly since his inauguration. Tax cuts, I'm looking forward to them with big reason, but long before that, easing up on regulations. A lot of folks seem to think a lot of revenue is coming into Washington to more than pay for them. Others are saying it won't pan out. And people, when they start seeing the net in their paychecks starting next month, they're going to be disappointed. It's going to come back to boomerang on you. What do you say?
Oh, not at all. I mean, in fact, we expect the exact opposite here. We're so excited, Neil, about the structural changes that we've made. This is not a sugar high. This is not a stimulus. This is fundamental changes to the American economy. Start with DREG, the things that we've done there. Again, the Office of Management and Budget is right on the front lines of that. Every agency has sort of pulled in the same direction to make deregulation a priority. You started to see the impact on the economic health, GDP growth in the country before the tax bill passed. I'm absolutely convinced that was a large part of the response to the deregulatory agenda that we have. That you add to that this structural change to the tax code, not just a tax cut like President Bush had in the 2000s. Structural reform of the way we tax the creation of wealth in this country. Long-term changes. These are fundamental principle changes to the way that the country runs, and we are very excited about the possibilities for sustained long-term growth. So, yeah, the stock market's going to go up and down. Clearly, it's only gone up since we've been here. It's going to come down eventually. But in the long term, we feel like we've made some absolutely critical improvements to the American economy that will pay off both economically for the nation, but also politically for the administration.
Director Mulvaney, do you ever worry about the president mentioning the stock market so much? Is good reason to. It has soared. But you know that old saw that it can come back to bite you. Ronald Reagan rarely have ever talked about the markets, even though they were running up. It served him well at the time of the '87 crash. The market still finished his 8 years high, a lot higher than they were when he came in. But do you ever advise the president, you know, boss, I'd go slow on this. It's self-explanatory. We see the market averages. Just be careful.
Yeah, I think we've sort of discussed it informally. I think that the comparison to Reagan sort of breaks down because the media was just different back then, Neil. I mean, he can get a fair shake from you and a couple other outlets, but for the most part, I mean, I've been on a couple other networks today, and it's been beating on the president nonstop. What are the numbers out there?
I caught one of those.
Yeah,
go ahead.
90% of this president, 90% of the media coverage of this president has been negative since he took office. I mean, if he's not going to talk about his own successes, practically no one else will.
But you know, Director, the one thing I didn't want to jump on you there, but
yeah.
What was a parallel with Ronald Reagan is his tax cuts, both of them, the early 80s one and the 86 one, the real reform, were ripped by the media at the time. But the view of people who saw their net paychecks, that changed everything, and the sentiment changed. Do you expect the same thing to happen with your tax cuts?
Not just that. I mean, look, we didn't even expect the Christmas bonuses that went out. We didn't expect the minimum wage increases from large employers across the country. That was even more than we expected. We think that we've under-promised on the tax reform and the impacts that we can have in the economy. And we're absolutely confident that when folks start to see their checks, not only that, not only the take-home check, which we think they'll be pleased with, but when the opportunities start to come in, when they start to realize what it means to be a part of a healthy American economy, when they have a chance to change jobs, to have a chance to start their own business, have a chance to get a raise, when those things start to filter through, those won't be immediate in February like the new withholding will, but when folks start to remember what it's like to be part of a healthy American economy, remember, you and I have talked about this before, I'll say it till I'm blue in the face, if you're 30 years old and you're watching this program, you have never had a job in this country with a really healthy American economy. There are things that can happen in a dynamic American economy that can't happen anywhere else in the world. We create wealth, the likes of which no one else has seen in the history of the planet. We create it for folks like you and me who are on TV all the time, and folks who never get anywhere near television, but they're home taking care of their families. The wealth opportunities that exist in this nation are fantastic, and we feel like we've unleashed those and put ourselves in a position to allow the country to unleash this type of wealth creation. That is what folks are going to see between now and, say, the midterm elections and well beyond that. So we're very optimistic about what the long-term future holds.
Do you think people will appreciate that by the midterm elections and keep Republicans in power?
Yeah, I mean, look, people may not like the president's methods. I get that.
Yeah.
But you can't argue with the policies. You can't argue with the outcomes. People are better off. The country is better off.
I'm surprised that with the markets and the economy and all that, Director, his polling numbers just aren't great.
I mean, look, again, I come back to the fact that things are different now when it comes to the media. When you've got a 9 out of 10 chance of hearing a nasty story about the president when you go on television, when you listen to the radio, when you go to the internet, that can wear on you after a while. But when it comes time to vote, we really do think people, look, we can ask the question right now, are you better off than you were a year ago? And the answer is yes. And there's one reason for that, and it's Donald Trump.